A staple on soap opera is always the hot guys. That's a staple on soap opera. Pretty women, hot men. That's how it is in soap operas. And soaps in other countries are no different. They may look a little different than what you're used to in some cases, or they sound different than you used to, but there's still a staple on soap opera. And on a show like Neighbours, which is it's kind of a down home soap, you see a lot of regular looking people. And when I say regular looking people, I think it's great. You see people of all sizes and shapes and heights and hairlines. And I love that because that's real life, of course. But in cat real life, occasionally there's people that stand out who are hot. So my first character, well, I did Toady, we did him, but my actual first kind of character actor spotlight, it's a guy named Lloyd Will. Don't know much about him. I'll tell you about that in a second. But he plays Sarge Rodwell. Can you get that out? Rodwell. And he's hot. I remember seeing him on a couple episodes because he's everywhere. When there's some drama somewhere, he's everywhere. And I saw him like, who's that? I'm like, who's that? Follow him looked him up, follow him on Instagram. He's also a director who's also on the OC. That's why I guess Misha Barton, remember her folks in America, who's on the OC, actually did some guest stuff on Neighbors. I haven't seen that yet. He also is a co-founder of something called Feast Studios. They do lots of um, ads and things, and so he was busy doing other stuff. He said he was, and I couldn't look. I was trying to look stuff up, and I really didn't see that many interviews until I found one. I'm going to mention this person because I love it. This person doesn't have a lot of followers, so go subscribe to his channel. His name is Matthew Rowland. I'll put it down below. I saw his video. He does a great half hour or so interview with Lloyd. Will. And as a person who has a smaller network too, sometimes you can get great stuff, no matter what size of the network or the following. And I just want to say to Matthew and to Lloyd, it's a wonderful conversation. Great questions. Will seems I fell in love with him even more. Just nice down to earth guy, a worker. He seems to get it that being an actor is not easy. Always guaranteed it's not easy. And he also shines light on a little bit of what it was like to have a show that ended and was like, and we're done, the end. They'll be surprised to come back. So the character that he plays, Sarge Rodwell, has been on the show off and on since the 90s, played by other people. He came on in 2020. And as he said in this interview, he came on just for a couple of scenes. Like I said, it happens all the time, a couple of scenes. They probably saw what I saw and the rest of you guys saw, how hot he was, and he was good. Which make that known, he is good, a good actor. They decided to keep him. And they decided to do more and more with him. And they gave him a family, gave him a wife and a daughter. So I guess a possible son too, with this JJ thing happening. But he's on the show. And like I said, there's no small parts, no small roles. You just never know. And so his job is to kind of keep up. He's a sergeant there of all the dramas and everything. And I mean, I want to direct you. I really do want to direct you to that video with Matthew Rowling. Like, go over there and watch that because he gives you a whole how it went down, who contacted him, what he was doing beforehand, everything. But I just want to spotlight him because I just was like, this guy is. I mean, his social media is not even that big or whatever, and I have a feeling he doesn't care like that. I have a feeling he's a person just like he's here for the work and he's doing it. But I was like, this is like it's like a little mini spotlight, like a Neighbors mini spotlight, just saying, check out this guy, Lloyd Will. He is on the show, plays Sarge, Andrew Rodwell. I'm curious to see what more happens on the show. But again, he was on an episode that I was watching last week. He was on it, and I was like, oh, okay. They are a family who lives on the street and in the cul-de-sac. And so that's the big deal. Like I said, here in America, we have Knots Landing as a cul-de-sac. Like when you got into that cul-de-sac, it was a big deal. So that's your little mini spotlight of him. Like the Sonic little something. Lauren, I'd love to have you on my show myself. I'd love to have you here. I'd love to talk to you and see what's going on. You sound like a very interesting guy. Like he has like interesting stuff going on. And there are a lot of us in this business who are multi-hyphenates who just like being in the business and do many different things. And nowadays, and it seems like it's the same down in Australia too, and also in England or whatever. It's like You gotta do multiple things sometimes to make it. It's expensive out there to live, to live out there and just take care of stuff. So, I appreciate that. He seems like a lover of just, like, the business, and he really enjoys his time on Neighbors. I'm James Lott Jr. I put out episodes once or twice a week here on JLJ Media. We're also on audio, so if you don't have time to be watching all this, or you have friends, tell your friends about it, tell your friends. There's audio versions. We're on every audio stream. We're on Amazon, ironically. Audible. We're on Apple. We're on Google. We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Deezer. Like we're on all the different audio series too. You can listen to that there. I'm James Lott Jr. and here in Los Angeles, and I will talk to you next time as the American Talking Neighbors.